Welcome everyone to today's special session on the occasion of International Women's Day. Is the audio clear to you? You can please respond in the chat box. For better audio quality, it is recommended that you use the earphones. My name is Priya and I'm a volunteer with Isha Foundation. Today, we are celebrating the International Women's Day. This day comes every year on the 8th of March, celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and emotional achievements of women. We would like to begin the session by Sadhguru's special message on Women's Day.
In yoga, the symbolism always is about showing the Adiyogi or the Shiva always as half man and half woman. The idea is to remind everyone that this is the nature of your existence. So to bring this balance between masculine and feminine is the true empowerment of humanity. If feminine has to find the right place in the world, we need to create a balanced society where finer aspects of life are as important as survival. If in our education systems, music, art, aesthetics become as important as science, mathematics and technology, only then feminine will find expression in a society. It is time to turn this around. So we've come to a place where technology has created a physical space where men and women can participate in equal measure. In many ways, everywhere in the world, economy is going to be the main factor in people's lives. It's very important that the women of the world participate in this process to create a gentler economy, an economy which is not brutal. It is very important in business leadership, in the boardrooms of this nation and in the world. There should be women who are feminine, not women who are trying to act more masculine than men. Women who genuinely have something feminine alive in them, and also men who are not ashamed of being feminine when they need to be. This balance has to be brought forth in a society. It is only in this balance there is empowerment. What you call as a flower is a fragile expression of a sturdier plant, but without the flower, the plant would mean nothing. So what we call as feminine is a more fragile expression of who we are, but without it, we would be nothing.
As Sadhguru mentioned, the feminine is very important. As Sadhguru mentioned, the feminine is very important. Especially in the last 12 months, there have been many changes. We have gone through stressful and challenging times. So let us see what Sadhguru has to say about women's health and the role of yoga in our lives.
In today's world, the way the society is structured, the way the many aspects of life has arranged itself, women have to care much more about their health than men. Simply because nature has invested a very elaborate reproductive system in a woman. We were all born out of a woman's womb, so there was an elaborate system inside. Normally, if you look back, they would start using the reproductive system by the age they were 15, 16. It was put to use probably throughout their life, at least throughout their reproductive life, in some way it was put to use. If a woman had 6 or 7 or 8 children in her lifetime, most probably it was spread out throughout, so reproductive organs were used in a certain way. Because of that, she did not have those issues as they have today. Another reason is Both men and women, of course, were working hard physically, physical work. Because of physical work, there never was any fat around the abdomen. At a young age, if a girl gathers abdominal fat, she is asking for it. There's simply no two ways about it. How soon or how late depends on various genetic and other aspects of life, but once abdominal fat gathers, then a young woman is definitely inviting trouble for herself, it'll come. Not enough activity, physical activity I mean. They may be working in an office, that doesn't mean anything, because that's not physical enough. If you're working in a field, that would be different. I think the problems that you're mentioning largely are happening in urban women simply because their physical activity, even if they exercise, it's half an hour, 1 hour in the morning, rest of the time they're sitting. So, because of this, there is not enough activity in that region. That's one reason. Another thing is reproductive process is not made use of, that's another reason. So if you're not using your reproduction process, that is, if you're not bearing a child before you're 21 years of age, it's very, very important that you must do hatha yoga. If you do gym, if you run, if you do this and that, run to some extent. But if you're just gymming and doing muscles and you're looking fit, that's not good. You must do intense hatha yoga. From the age of 12, if a girl child starts doing hatha yoga, she will go through all those issues most of them think is a big issue and go through lots of struggles for every stage of development within themselves, they will go through this effortlessly. So this has to come, that if reproductive health of a woman has to be maintained without reproducing, it's very important that certain things are done, and that part of what you're doing should be largely focused in the thoracic region or the abdominal region, must be worked in a certain way. There is no system which works it the way the hatha yoga, the systems of hatha yoga will work it, and there are specific asanas and processes which can be taught. If they do this, they need not go through all those medical stuff that unfortunately the numbers are rising in a big way. Another dimension of this is also urban young women these days, a lot of them are very disturbed about something or the other. At one time, only your family or your children or your husband or your immediate friends disturbed you. Now you have friendship across the globe and just about anybody can freak you anytime. So just a message is enough that you worry about it for next 3 days, for whatever reasons, I don't want to blame it on any one thing. It has become a norm that everybody must be stressed. So this also can be very easily handled. The basic body chemistry can be brought to such a level of balance within you if you do the right kind of yoga. And this is the solution for the future generations. Otherwise, this will rise because today, I think, including the rural, tribal, all kinds of women put together, the average childbearing age, I think, has gone up to 22 or so. But I believe in the next 25 years, it will go to 35 most probably, and it's a very good thing. So if it goes up to 35, then the number of these type of issues that young women will have will multiply manyfold unless they take care of themselves. Taking care of themselves is not about medicine, not about doctors. You must start yogic processes so that the body brings a certain balance. Chemical balance is there in the system, hormonal balance is there in the system, all this glandular secretions are happening well in a balanced manner. If this is happening, they will not go into this mode of unnecessary ailment. Well, a percentage of people will always have some physical illness, that's a different matter, but right now there's an unnatural level of percentages. The society is reaching an unnatural level of sickness, so that has to be brought down, it's very important.
Now we will learn a simple practice called Nadi Shutti. This practice cleanses the nadis, pathways through which the pranic energy flows, resulting in balancing the system and psychological well-being. Before we start the practice, those of you who are watching this on your mobile phones, we request you to keep your phones in front of you on a desk or just next to you. There will be a demonstration for the practice. Please do not attempt the practice along with the demonstration. Once the demonstration is over, we will have time to do the practice along with the instructions. Also, do not type any questions in the chat box while the practice demonstration is going on. There will be time that we can take questions.
Yoga for peace, Nadi Shutti. The word Nadi Shuddhi literally means cleansing the nadis. When we say nadis, we are not talking about the 72,000 because these 72,000 are only a branch out of the two basic nadis, the Pingala and the Ida. 36,000 branching out from Pingala, 36,000 branching out from Ida. This is the energy physiology of a human being. When we say Nadi Shuddhi, we are talking about cleansing fundamentally the Pingala and Ida so that energy system will work in balance. There is a connection between your breath and your mental structure. To bring balance to your thought is a very important step that you need to take if you want to bring balance to your activity, your emotion and the results of your life and the impact that you have on other people's lives. Nadi Shuddhi plays an important role.
Here are a few guidelines that will set optimal conditions and greatly enhance your receptivity of the practices. Please ensure cell phones are either in silent mode or switched off. It is advisable not to sit for the program with a full stomach or immediately after a meal. Please sit with your spine comfortably erect, hands uncrossed, and palms open. These conditions will prepare you to be in a heightened state of receptivity and derive the most benefits from the practices. These practices are very safe and simple and can be done by anybody. The practices we will be learning here can be done by anyone ages 7 years and above. If you wear glasses while doing the yoga practices, please remove them and keep them aside. How to do Nadi Shuddhi? She will demonstrate. Please observe. Sit in a cross-legged posture with your spine comfortably erect, eyes closed. Left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap, palm facing upwards. Use only your right hand. Use your thumb and ring finger. Fold your middle and index fingers. The ring and little finger are held straight and side by side touching. Now block your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left nostril. After the inhalation is complete, exhale through the same. In a similar fashion, using the ring finger, block your left nostril and inhale through the right nostril. Then exhale through the same. Again, block the right and open the left. Inhale and exhale. Continue like this. Be focused on your breath. So when you do this Nadi Shuddhi, what is most important is to breathe fully in and fully out, as slowly and as gently as it is possible for you. You should not make any sound when you exhale or inhale. So for this to happen, you just need to remember one basic point so that Nadi Shuddhi happens by itself. You will always switch after every exhalation. So that means whichever nostril you inhale through, the same nostril you exhale through. You do Nadi Shuddhi for a minimum of 4 minutes. A few corrections for the practice. Do not keep your left hand on the thigh. The left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap. To clarify, on the right hand, you use only your thumb and ring finger. The ring and little finger are held straight and are side by side touching. Fold your middle and index fingers. If you are unable to hold them straight, do it as best you can. Also, there is a tendency to keep the head down or turn to one side. Unconsciously, your face may tilt one way or the other. Your head should be straight. If you maintain this, your system will come to a balance very quickly. Ensure not to press too hard on the lower part of the nostril. Locate the septal bone on your right nostril, just a millimeter beneath that. If you place the thumb, with very minimal pressure, you can block the nostril effectively so that no air can escape. Ensure you are not breathing shallow, doing normal breathing, or holding the breath. The breathing should be fully in and fully out. We will do Nadi Shutti together now. Sit in a cross-legged posture with your spine comfortably erect. If you are unable to sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair with your legs crossed at the ankles. Left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap, palm facing upward. Use only your right hand. Use your thumb and ring finger. Fold your middle and index fingers. The ring and little finger are held straight and are side by side touching. Close your eyes. Now block your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left nostril. After the inhalation is complete, exhale through the same. Now using the ring finger, block your left nostril and inhale through the right nostril. Then exhale through the same. Again, block the right and open the left. Inhale and exhale. Continue to do this until we ask you to stop. Be focused on your breath. The breathing is fully in and fully out. Do it as slowly and gently as you can. Make sure your spine is comfortably erect. Ensure your head is straight. Continue to be focused on your breath. You can end with an exhalation through your left nostril and stop. Please slowly open your eyes.
We hope that you enjoyed the practice. For some of you, it might be a little bit struggling, but do not worry. This may be so because you're attempting for the first time. You will see as you keep practicing, it will become much easier. There are some commonly asked questions and common corrections for the practice. There is a tendency to keep the left palm on the thigh, facing downwards, or so please make sure that the palm is loosely placed in the middle of the lap. And there is also a tendency to keep your head down. Ensure your head is straight, not downwards. And you may be struggling with keeping the ring finger and the little finger straight. You keep it as straight as it is possible for you and as closely touching with each other as it is possible for you. As you keep practicing, you will notice that it will be getting easier for you. Thank you, all of you, for joining us today. We hope that this session was insightful for you. We are very glad to have presented this special program on the International Women's Day exclusively for the Apollo hospitals. Thank you once again for joining us today. Namaskara.